It's a Godwinson live news alert on the status of everything that's going down so far. PPP's lost another channel. Yet again, it's been flagged down. He's got the old one. Again. And we're back. We're never going to die. Godwinson never dies, and he never has. He's never going to lay down and play gunt guard for these F slurs, ladies and gentlemen. But regardless, I want to impart a message, an important message. I want to confess my actions on the Kiwi farms. It's true. I was Goku 2 million. I was the handicapped Super Saiyan, shitposting to my heart's content. And I also want to confess one more thing. And that's that yes me, I am perspicacy. I always have been and I always will be. I am perspicacy. Press 1 to acknowledge the confession. So many ones acknowledging the confession. We're going to get into everything. We're going to get into the traitors. We're going to get into Ethan Ralph shitposting on PPP's own thread. What happens next? Stay tuned and find out. Press 1 to burn it all down. It never ends. The ride never ends, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just get into it, first of all. Ralph's posting in PPP's own thread, doing Gunt God cleanup for himself. He's no longer got Flamenco to boss around and post all over Kiwi farms for free. To clean it up for free. It's gone. Look, Flamenco's gone. Flamenco's defected to the other side. And I want to just confess something here, on top of the 2 previous confessions that this video has already began with. And that's that Flamingo and Full Blast Forever, they are and always shall be traitors. That's what they are, traitors. We don't accept their defection. I certainly don't. I'm not going to call them friends because they're handing out stream keys to the enemies of their once lord and master. These people are traitors, absolute traitors. And if there's one thing we do not like on this channel, it's traitors. Full Fang Forever was perfectly willing to ban and block and hide my chats. Let's not forget. When he was restreaming Ethan Ralph every night, when he was raking in the dollar for Ethan Ralph every night, when he was acceding to his every master's whims every night. And I wasn't just alone in being banned and hidden and flagged. No, there were many, a great many, of my fellow kin that were also treated the same way. So we reject Full Blast Forever's sudden about face, just out of hand completely. The man's a traitor. He knew where his colours lay. He knew what he hitched his wagon to. He knew what Ethan Ralph was. Come on. Long before any of us started pointing it out. He started restreaming Ralph after he'd been banned from D-Live, way after Miami, way after Knoxville, way after a lot of the stuff that has come to tar Ethan Ralph has come to light. This man is a traitor. Nothing more, nothing less. And his actions would be a bit more respectable had he not ran straight to Ethan Ralph's supposed enemies. PPP might welcome him with open arms, but in my book, Full Blast Forever is a traitor and deserves to languish in exile. Let's talk about the other traitor, Flamingo. Flamingo has decided to stop all activity regarding Ethan Ralph. He's not running the Gunt God anymore. He's not going to ban people in the Discord threads anymore. How strange, isn't it? What a day makes a difference. You know, what a difference a day makes with these people. Because what happened was Zoom started doxing the Gunt Guard live on air. And Flamengo felt a bit of sweat run down his forehead. And he thought, I see where the wind is blowing, and I need to hitch my wagon to another master. No, Flamingo, you're not safe. You're not going to be safe because you've decided to snake on your lord and master. Ethan Ralph wasn't telling you, I'm certain of this, he wasn't telling you to run Defense Force constantly in his own threads on Kiwi farms. He wasn't telling you to flag down not just my channel, not just PPP's channel, but any other channel that dissented to your master's whim and voice. You're a traitor, and that's how you'll always be remembered for me, a traitor. I have a bit more respect for somebody like Gator, who, knowing Ethan Ralph, right, knowing the person that Ethan Ralph is, has decided not to just become an outright traitor and stab his own master in the back. the one thing we respect Gator for is his loyalty. That loyalty may be misplaced. He may not really be seeing the right senses there. He may not really be loyal in the right direction. But at least he's loyal. At least he's not a fucking traitor like you, Flamingo. At least he's not a traitor like you, Full Fag Forever. Full F slur forever. I apologise. I apologise for that. Maybe I'm going to get flagged down again. Maybe it's the end again. Except it's never going to be the end. Because my audience will always follow me wherever I go. I've come to learn this. I learned this a few years ago now. No matter where you start, the audience will come. I wonder, Flamingo. I wonder, Full Fag Forever. Were it not for Ethan and Ralph, would you even have your audience? Were it not for Ethan and Ralph's mastership over you, would you even have even half of your audience? You people are traitors. And the fact that you run to his enemies the moment a bit of heat starts to ratchet up, the moment you feel the noose around your own neck, you start to run to Ethan Ralph's supposed enemies. You people sicken me. You absolutely sicken me. You're traitors. I'm not going to embrace you with open arms. You're not going to help me win the space race, Flamingo. You know, I see no point in harbouring you in my country. This isn't the Cold War. You can languish in exile for all I care. And I'm not going to bow to any of the DMs you send trying to snake on Ethan Ralph. To be honest, I respect Gator a lot more than I do you. And I even respect Ethan Ralph a lot more than I do you. Because, let's be honest, his show's not going to end because an autist and a sycophantic restreamer have decided to part ways with him. No. Let's be honest. I think he's already replaced you with Warski. So, I mean, that stunt didn't really pay off, did it? And they think they're safe with Zoom. Flamingo thinks he's safe with Zoom. He's not going to be doxxed. He's going to be safe. He's going to be all right. You know, if he just accedes to Zoom's demands now, plays lapdog with Zoom. Well, I apologise. I really do apologise. But I've always hated people like you, and I always hated traitors, especially traitors that will stab their own master publicly in the back. And we're not going to forget the actions you've done whilst under the wardship of Ethan Ralph. You people are despicable in the nth degree. So yeah, you're traitors. You're absolute traitors. You can give me as many stream keys as you want. You can DM me as much as you like, but you're not going to get any sort of friendship from me. You're traitors. Absolute traitors. To the point where now Ethan Ralph is posting in PPP's thread, right? And he's having to run Gunt Guard. He's identified in a similar way that Shannon used to identify Gay Opswinson. He's identified PPP as perspicity, prosperity, Prospero. You know, that poster that we all know. We can't actually pronounce the name of. Well, I'm perspicity, you know. Let's just be open and honest here. It's always been me, Ethan Ralph. You know, I realise that you've labelled him a few times as various different factions of your enemies. It couldn't happen to be just an organic poster that happens to despise you, your actions, everything that you've been doing, and wants to look into the Simpspiracy. No, it has to be one of your enemies that you know of via their face. The sad thing is that Flamenco would have done this once upon a time. He would have been running this operation once upon a time. He'd have been posting in the Kiwi Farms thread once upon a time, identifying the enemies of his lord and master. Alas, Flamenco's turned traitor, as has Full Blast Forever. People are telling me that Gator's going to defect. Defect to what? Because I'm not going to embrace Gator. Gator's on his own. These people are on their own. These people were fully aware, fully coherent in thought when they decided to hitch their wagon to Ethan Ralph. So, I mean, there's no home for them with me. Maybe PPP will embrace them, but I certainly won't. These people are non-persons now. You know, they were minor orbiters of Ethan Ralph. And at that point, they had some sort of minor respect, simply because, I don't know, they were running Gunt Guard. They were in charge of banning people on Discords and chats and any number of live restreams. But these people get no respect from me. What use or utility do they have for me? I don't want to read their Lord and Master's secret DMs that they've recorded. You know, Flamenco's defected. He thinks he's safe because he's recorded a load of blackmail on Ethan Ralph. These people are disgusting. These people don't have private conversations. These people don't have friendships, as you and I would have a friendship. These people are forever booting up a hard drive to store it with insidious recordings, right? And it's Ethan Ralph also. Ethan Ralph has got hours and hours, right, of Rand confessing and crying into this microphone about his wife's miscarriage. And his first thought, his first idea, first thought that sprung into his mind was to start recording Rand doing that. And Flamingo's the same. I'm sure Gator's the same, right? But we've got a tiny bit more respect for Gator because Gator's not turned traitor. Gator's not a Judas. Gator's not going to stab his master in the back. And if he does, then the little respect that we have for Gator will just into nothing. These people are traitors, absolute traitors. And let's just talk about PPP being flagged yet again, right? Isn't it strange how we can shit talk Ethan Ralph, we can shit talk Janny Josh, you can shit talk a great number of these players in this whole show. But the moment he mentions a Medium article written by Jamie Lynn Hughes, that's when the channel goes down completely, as though Dick Masterson or one of his capos that are verified have decided to write something very coherent to YouTube in order for them to just demolish the channel in one fell swoop. Not even a free copyright system. Not even a prior warning as to what that was about. People are saying, oh, it's ban evasion, it's ban evasion. Well, I don't think PPP was banned, was he? Like, the user wasn't banned outright. I've not heard anything from YouTube saying that PPP was banned outright. You know, one of his videos got flagged for hate speech on the original channel, and that brought him down to his third strike. And the prior two were from Gator himself, right? So I don't think YouTube have got a problem. It's interesting that on the channel that I'd given PPP, you know, a week ago, that's now gone, that's now just over, that he gets taken down without any prior warning, without the three-strike system being implemented, as though somebody on the site who has a direct ear to Dick Masterson, has a direct line to Dick Masterson, has decided to take this down. And isn't it curious that it's purely upon the mention of the Jamie Lynn Hughes article? It was already flagged down by Dick Masterson to begin with. Dax Herrera had originally flagged that. We know this for a fact, right? But they're going to gaslight you and say that everyone's just flagging their own things. Jamie Lynn Hughes is just flagging her own things. What a gaslighting shit show. Our former heroes, right? People like Jim, who would have once upon a time took a stand for this, who wouldn't have been disingenuous and misconstrued the evidence that was apparent. You know, they would have at least joined us now. But, you know, we're on our own. That's the way it is. No one's going to bat for you anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's going to give you a fair chance, give you a fair word. Maybe I will, maybe PPP will, but that's about it. You know, because all of these people are concerned with one thing, and that's money. They're all heavily invested in this one thing called New Project 2, which they've given their social security numbers to, which they've given private details to, far more and above and beyond anything that they would have done prior, simply because they have faith in someone called Dick Masterson, who has proven himself to be a charlatan, who has proven himself to be a scam artist. What more is there to say? What more is there to say? How much more do we have to say to get people to wake up to the truth? How much longer do we have to continue the cycle of me opening another channel, getting it back to the numbers it was in a week, and then PPP having to come back on it again because he's flagged out on the previous channel? How long does this continue before people wake up and take action against these people? These people are awful. These people are traitors. These people are despicable. They're quoted verbatim as saying, if they go after your money, you can do anything. And they're proving that with every succeeding day. Dick Masterson is proving that if you go after his money, he's going to come after you. No holds barred. He's going to use every tactic and trick in the book. This is worse than anything Mundane Matt did, or anything that Kraut did, or anything that the Liberalists did. I don't even think Sargon could have got a YouTube channel removed just like that, without any flags, without any prior warning. But Dick Masterson can, because he lives in the Hollywood Hills, in Barbie Doll's dream mansion. He was homecoming king, and he didn't have a nose job. You know, he wasn't a transvestite in high school. No, he was a Chad, an alpha Chad. Let's not forget it. Let's not forget it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it may be a bit concerning that Josh, who's been banned off every payment processor going, is on the site and Dick Masterson's hosting him. Maybe they don't know about that. Maybe the legal authorities and the financial authorities do not know about Dick Masterson hosting the notorious Josh from Kiwi Farms on his site. Maybe that's why they've been trying to cover all this up, to stop people from reporting this to the relevant authorities. I assume that's why it is. But there's clearly something a bit more to the Jamie Lynn Hughes angle. Every time I look at these messages, I keep seeing a nothing burger. I keep saying, okay, yeah, they're funny, but I don't see what the point is. But for some reason, they really get to Dick Masterson. He doesn't want this woman's voice to be heard. Now, you, I, everyone watching this could care less about Jamie Lynn Hughes. We don't really know or in any way care about her. We see her in the same sort of milieu as Jessie from Pod Awful, who, by the way, has been flagging people who've been re-uploading a clip that PPP went on the guy's show. The guy lied to PPP and put it behind a paywall. This guy is just scum, disgusting. He put it behind a paywall. One of PPP's fans, a guy called Video Game Snake, decided to re-upload just that one chunk, about 50 minutes, maybe even less than that, up on his own channel for all and sundry to see. I mean, why should this be behind a paywall? You know, Jesse didn't share any of the profits with PPP. I don't think he even told PPP that it was going to be patrons only. You know, so Video Game Snake re-uploads it, and Jesse just takes it down. Jesse flags it. You know, these people are all of the same ilk. They don't like something, they'll flag it down. They'll use every trick in the book. The thing is with Jesse, though, if you want to give him a little bit of credit, at least he's honest and open about what he's done. In his Discord, you know, he might be calling Video Game Snake a lunatic, but at least he's open and honest about what he's doing. Someone like Dick Masterson, it's been proven that he's taken down this Jamie Lynn Hughes article, this Medium article. He wants this woman's voice to be silenced. I wonder why. What more does this woman know beyond these DMs? Does she know a bit more about his fraudulent activities? Does she know a bit more about how he operates business-wise? It strikes me that somebody that close to somebody like Dick Masterson would have a bit more secrets to tell, a bit more news to impart with the rest of us. It'd be interesting to hear more of her voice, wouldn't it, ladies and gentlemen? I certainly want to hear more of her voice. Because I don't see why every time this woman is mentioned, videos are taken down, blog posts are taken down, articles are taken down, threads are being locked and moved and censored and renamed. What's Jamie Lynn Hughes done other than, you know, cheat on her husband? But she's gotten too close to Dick Masterson, and there's something there. Trust me, there's something there that they don't want you to know. I'm thinking now that this video is going to be flagged because I've mentioned Jamie Lynn Hughes. This woman that seems to be, for all intents and purposes, acting in a very nice, very pleasant, very cordial way. I don't think she's flagged anything. I don't think she's spurging out on Twitter. I don't think she's, you know, calling death upon her enemies. I think she's acting probably the best out of all of us, really. But for some reason, Dick Masterson doesn't want her voice heard, to the point where he's actively flagging down mentions of her name. Why is that? Why is that? New Project 2 is a shady site. I think we've all agreed upon that now. You know, I keep looking back at Toad Judas's New Project 2 page, and it's still languishing in $26. I thought, you know, maybe even him, to save face, would have injected a bit more money in. You know, at least rounded it up to 30, because at least Judas had about 30 pieces of silver in his betrayal of the Lord Jesus Christ. But you know, no one seems to be even donating anymore. And I'm glad. I'm glad that people are waking up to the scam that is New Project 2. I'm glad that people are waking up to this. Maybe in fact, clearly there needs to be some further investigation, some further reporting as to who's being hosted on that site. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Dick Masterson should be terminated as a merchant for 10 years. Maybe that's the fate of Dick Masterson and his fraudulent ways. But there's something that we keep going back to, and that's these DMs. These DMs that are long in the ether, at least to me. But every time they're mentioned, every time the woman that Masterson was talking to in these DMs is even talked about, videos go down, everything ends. Why is that? Why is that? This woman, for all intents and purposes, you know, is just a thought that decided to sleep with Dick Masterson. But I think she knows a bit more. I'd like to talk to her. I really would. I'd like to interview her. I'd like to really get into the nitty-gritty details about what her relationship was with Dick Masterson and how it transpired and how everything came to this point, whether she's been keeping up with New Project 2 and the scam and the lies, whether she's even aware of people like Ethan Ralph, people like Josh, people that have been guarding and cleaning it up for Dick Masterson. It'd be very interesting to talk to this woman. Let's just say that. What else is there to say, I should say? Maybe I don't know, maybe Gator is going to defect, but we don't like traitors. I'm not going to embrace Gator. Kraut's been saying he's going to embrace Gator. I even think Gator's got a bit more shame than embracing Kraut upon his defection. Jesus Christ, these people. Ethan Ralph has interviewed his co-host, his female co-host who does TikToks for him. She herself has a gun, right? She's it's terrible. But he's been interviewing her about her miscarriage that she had when she was a teenager. So that's great content for you all, isn't it? That's very entertaining. And he's not only just interviewed her and put the recording up and conducted himself in a shameless way. He's decided to put it behind a paywall, just like Jesse would. The degrees of separation between these people are just minute, absolutely minute. The only thing you can trust, and the only people you can trust, are the ones that aren't going to beg for your money, the ones that aren't going to beg in the gutter for your hard-earned shekels. I've never begged for your money, and I never will. I don't think PPP ever will. Maybe he might. Maybe because his life is ruined now, maybe he's got to start begging in the gutter. But at that point, I just think it's over. I think it's over. Once you start begging people for their money, without even offering any sort of content, any sort of entertainment, any sort of showmanship for that, then it's over for you as a creator. And I've always maintained that. Always maintained that. If there's one consistent ethos that's ran through my work ever since 2012, it's that we hate e-beggars. It's that we hate people who want your money for nothing. And it's that we hate anybody with a Patreon, anybody with a Kickstarter, anybody with an Indiegogo or a Streamlabs, or anybody that's going to read Super Chats for 2 hours on end. These people are disgraceful. These people belong to languish in exile once the empire of cards falls down for them. So that's the end of the video, lads.